if you look around my room, you'll notice that none of my centers are very large, and there's multiple reasons for that. One of the reasons is that all of my centers only need to be big enough to hold 1 or 2 students. I do this intentionally because I want my students to have the opportunity to interact, but again, I'm looking for them to be successful. If you have 3 or 4 students in a center, kids who are not socially developed or socially aware at this point will not be successful in that center. So by limiting it to 2 students in a center, it really allows for them to still have that interaction, to only have to deal with one other person's wants and desires, and it allows the teacher to step in really easily and check and make sure, help students process those social interactions. I do make sure that there are, if there are chairs at the table, I make sure there's enough for 2 students and a teacher, because I want for students to feel like at any moment we can come and join them in their play. Another reason that they are tight is because students who are lacking self-regulation skills can spin out of control really fast. And so I've learned that wide open spaces are not your friend in this environment. It encourages running, it encourages utilizing materials in a way that can be harmful. So I've just noticed those cozy spaces, for one, makes them feel a little bit more contained, which to these kids is safe. And also it just helps regulate the activity in and of itself without me having to actually be there. I try to clearly define each of my centers, either by a carpet or I'll put tape on the floor so the kids can see very clearly, this is where this center ends and this center begins. And that also just keeps areas like blocks or home living from bleeding out into the rest of the room, again, causing that chaos. You're always, always, always looking for ways to set these kids up for success. And we do the same thing with our group center, or our whole group carpet. You've noticed I put shelves on the carpet. It is a very cozy little corner of our classroom. And I do that because when I teach, I sit on the carpet with my kids. My assistant is sitting on the carpet with our kids so that they are all within arm's reach at all times. And this isn't because I'm going to grab a child or do anything drastic. It's just that nearness to an adult speaks safety to a child. And if they're having a hard time regulating, if they're getting upset because it's somebody else's turn, I'm able to just reach over and soothingly rub their back. I can hold their hand. And it just, again, those little pieces, that intentionality, setting them up for that success, because group time can be really hard for these kids, having to wait your turn, not speak whenever you want to, having to be respectful of other people's space. It's a challenge. It's a challenge for anybody. And so that smaller, cozy area just really helps eliminate a lot of those issues and helps my assistant and I to be able to be right there to support them in their time of need.
And how do you choose the materials that might be in some of your centers and available?
So I try to choose, the materials that I choose, I try to keep pretty open-ended, low frustration level materials. Again, it's that piece of setting them up for success. If I have really complex materials out on my shelves and I'm not right there helping them choose it and they're trying to work through it with another friend, that is setting them up for failure. So what I do is I try to keep open-ended things like blocks, counting bears, those types of things that the kids can manipulate in many ways on my shelves. And any time that I want to do something a little bit more complicated or complex, like, board games, memory games, something that has a lot of little pieces for sorting, I still have my students do those materials because we know it's so good for their brain and for their academics, but we'll do it on the carpet or we'll do it at the table over there. And that way I'm right there and I'm there to help walk them through it. I'm there to help scaffold when it needs to happen. help direct those interactions while they wait for their turn, while they wait for those pieces. So just being really, really mindful of what you're doing. And also, things with a lot of little pieces are hard to clean. And so you want something that, dump it in a basket, cleanup is over. Because cleaning is a very frustrating transition for a lot of these kids. And so you have to kind of think about the way that you set up your room. Is this going to require a child to sit here for 20 minutes, putting this piece here, this piece there? So you want to make those transition times a little bit smoother and easier for the child, again, so they can be successful. And I lost my train of thought, sorry. But I'm trying to think.
So you have lots of baskets there, natural baskets.
Yes. You kind of want to keep the overall visualization of your classroom low key. So a lot of really brightly colored, coordinating, printed baskets, while they might be adorable, are not crazy practical, and never put something out in your classroom that you're not willing to part with. So these natural baskets, I go to garage sales and I get them for 25 cents a piece. If something happens and the basket gets damaged, it's no skin off my nose, because I can just go get another one for 25 cents. And again, it's that cleanup is a lot quicker when it's just in a basket. And then, having the labels, of course, to help them remember what pieces go where, which baskets go where when it's necessary, is also a good piece. But, I'm drawing a blank.
I'll pan around and show the other centers.
If there's anything specifically you want me to say about them, just let me know. We can talk about the sensory stuff.
Yeah.
If you want, I can lift the lids off.